This video is on factoring a quadratic. A quadratic is a polynomial where the biggest exponent is 2. So for example, if capital A, B, and C were all numbers, then a number times x squared plus a number times x plus a number, that right there is a quadratic. This word here, factoring or factor, that means to change it to be something times something. So for example, if you're asked to factor this, they're asking you to change it to be this parentheses times parentheses, where here capital E, F, H, and K are numbers. So you're trying to change this quadratic into a number times x plus a number multiplied by a number times x plus a number. In this particular case, if I were to multiply these two parentheses together, you'll notice that the E times the H will equal this A. And you'll also notice that this F multiplied by this K will equal this number C. This B is a little bit trickier. If you're multiplying this together, you'll notice that this F times this H plus this E times this K will equal this B. Pause the video, write down notes, hit play when you're ready to continue. Let's do an example of this together. So, let's say you're asked to factor that. 2 times x squared plus 7 times x minus 4. Okay, as you can see, this matches that. Here your 2 is equal to your A, your B is 7, your C is negative 4. So I'm trying to change this into a number times x plus a number times x plus a number. And like we said earlier, you're looking for two numbers, h and h, e and h, that will multiply to equal this number a. So for our example right here, we're looking for two numbers that multiply to equal that positive 2. So what numbers multiply to equal 2? You have 1 times 2. You have 2 times 1. You have negative 1 times negative 2. You have negative 2 times negative 1. It helps to keep your numbers organized that way. Here I just started with the smallest positive number on the left, and I just did the negatives of these on the right. That's how I organized it. Okay, so those are all the possible numbers for this E and H. So those combinations right there are all the possible numbers for these numbers E and H when I factor it. So now, from what we were looking at before, you also know that this F and K, so these two numbers right here, will multiply to equal this C. In our example here, negative 4 is my C. So I'm looking for numbers that multiply to equal that negative 4. So what number is multiplied to equal -4? I'm going to try to keep myself organized here again. Once again, I'm going to start with the smallest positive number, so 1. So I know that 1 multiplied by -4 equals -4. 2 multiplied by -2 gets me -4. And then 4 multiplied by -1. Those are all the possible combinations where that first number is a positive number. And now let's just put the negatives on the other side. So I know that -1 times +4 gets me -4. -2 times 2, and -4 times 1. So at this point, I have all my possible values for E and H, and all my possible values here for F times K. The hard part is going to be to figure out B. For B, I need to have a bit more complicated of thing. Let's pause that part for a second. So I have my parentheses times parentheses. And there's going to be an X here, an X here. And I know one of these combinations of red numbers over here will go in front of the X. At this stage, you can usually just pick whichever of those 4 you want. I'm going to choose this first one, 1 and 2. So I'm going to say this is going to be 1 times X and 2 times X. I don't know that this is the combination that's going to work. At this stage, you're just guessing, trying them, and seeing which one sort of works. You're guessing and checking. So I'm guessing that those are the 2 red ones. And now I need to find if any of these 6 can I put in here so that I get this B value. So I'm looking to make this one times this one plus this one times this one. That needs to equal my B. For this equation, my B is +7. And you kind of have to just guess and check these 6. Let's say the first thing I'm going to try to guess and check is this one right here. So 1 and -4. Okay, so this is a +1. So if I put +1 here and then -4 here, let's see if at the end that will make a +7. So +1 times 2 is 2. +1 times -4 is -4. 2 plus -4, does that equal 7? No. So this does not work. erase, try the next one. Now you can pick any of the other 5 to try. I'm going to pick this one down here to try. So let's try +4 and -1 here. Okay. So +4 times 2 is 8. +1 times -1 is -1. And that one does add up. So this one works. So there you go. Here is your factored form for this. Your 1 times your 2 equals this 2 here. And just like they said, the E times H is equal to A. Your +4 times -1 equals this -4. In our general form, that was E times K is equal to C. And your +4 times 2 plus 1 times -1 is equal to this 7. This way of factoring sometimes works, but will not always work.